part of communities throughout this country, including Mission, Texas. And whereas our parks and recreation are vitally important to establishing and maintaining the quality of life in our communities, ensuring the health of all citizens and contributing to the economic and environmental well-being of the community and region. And whereas parks and recreation programs build healthy, active communities that aid in the prevention of chronic disease, provide therapeutic recreation services for those who are mentally or physically disabled, and also improve the mental and emotional health of all citizens. And whereas parks and recreation programs increase the community's economic prosperity through increased property values, expansion of the local tax base, increased tourism, the attraction and retention of businesses, and crime reduction. And whereas parks and recreation areas are fundamental to the environmental and well-being of our community. And whereas parks and natural recreation areas improve water quality, protect groundwater, prevent flooding, improve the quality of air we breathe, provide vegetative buffers to development, and produce habitat for wildlife. And whereas our parks and recreation areas ensure ecological beauty of our community and provide a place for our children and adults to connect with nature and recreate outdoors. Whereas the U.S. House of Representatives has designated July as Parks and Recreation Month, and whereas the City of Mission recognizes the benefits derived from parks and recreation resources. Now, therefore, we, the City Council and the City of Mission, do hereby designate July as Parks and Recreation Month in the City of Mission and encourage all citizens to visit our parks. Proclaimed on this day, the 12th day of July, 2021.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
Second.
We have
I'll move to approve.
We have a motion and a second to approve, and this I open it for final discussion by any of the council members. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. By any chance, you have the Parks and Recreation
Yes,
Board
I
that we
do.
can bring them up here so
You
the
know,
public can know
Parks and
who
Recreation
serves
Department
our
has
public
been-
directly.
Parks and Recreation department has really been blessed with the group of people we have on our Parks Board this year. We've always had a good set of boards, but this year we have one that's totally interactive with everybody and come up with good ideas and good suggestions. And instead of leaving it on Parks Department to make up our minds, they bring us a lot of information. They're totally involved in everything we do. But I do have Parks Advisory Board with us and also some of my members from Parks Department.
Well, let's start with the advisory board if you want to bring them up to
Okay.
the front so that we can present you the proclamation, and then we'll have staff join us right after that. So our citizens will know who's on the Parks and Recreation Board and who does diligent work for our city.
Do you want to introduce?
Yes, I will. Be glad to.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
How can he not see me?
To my right here is Tony Guerrero, Parks Chairman of the Board. Next, we have Xavier. I just forget your last name. Longoria. Okay, and Maggie Pena, Jesus Chu Mendiola, Chris Voss. Chris Voss, I'm sure you guys probably grew up with Chris, and Mark Minton. Mark is our most recent addition to the board.
Awesome. Thank you.
The chairman and the director can take a picture with the council, and then we'll ask.
Okay, and in groups, please.
Yes. We'll ask the staff to come up and who always are there for the city. Yes. Well, I want Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Right.
you.
Yes.
Presentation number 2, Ms. Munguia, you have the floor,
you.
ma'am.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Today we are presenting, can you guys hear me okay? Today we're presenting you with the Employees of the Month for May of this year. This month we have a crew, actually that was nominated by Assistant Fire Chief Rene Alvarez. I believe 3 out of the 4 are here today, and I'd like to ask them to come stand up here with me, please.
Oh, amazing.
It's Lieutenant Javier Flores, Engineer Brian Sanchez, and
You all
Fire-
want to step forward, please, as your name is called forward out here so the community can see you. And
Firefighter David Rodriguez and Firefighter Rodolfo Garcia is out today. The nomination reads as follows. The crew from A shift at station number 3 are a great example of teamwork and demonstrate a high level of pride and ownership. These individuals make sure that their equipment at station are maintained and take initiative to improve the condition of their station. These firefighters take care of their station as they would take care of their own home, going above and beyond to keep it clean and presentable at all times. While visiting Station 3 on morning of May 17th, I noticed the crew utilizing pressure washers to clean the concrete front apparatus apron. Lieutenant Flores explained that as a crew, they all decided to pressure wash the concrete apron because it looked dirty. A couple of shift cycles before this shift, the crew had pressure washed all the concrete sidewalks around the station. Lieutenant Flores, Engineer Sanchez, Firefighter Garcia, and Firefighter Rodriguez demonstrate a high level of pride and ownership, which is something that is stressed throughout the fire service. The level of commitment to take care of their station and be good stewards of our citizens' property speaks volumes of our fire department. We thank the entire crew for the time, effort, detail, and service they provide to our great community. Thank you. That's the nomination.
y'all want to step over here so we can take a picture with you, and then we'll let you go to the podium. Okay. Congratulations, you all have a good luck, guys. Okay. Chief, you're gonna. Congratulations.
Mayor and Council, as mentioned in the narrative in regards to presented by my Assistant Chief Alvarez, the key words there is pride and ownership. Not just this crew, the staff takes pride in their apparatus and within their station and equipment. And when Chief Alvarez brought it to my attention for a nomination, and one of the key things was Employee of the Month is for individual. But this is also a team. And we're fortunate that it was approved as a team because we are a department within the city. Thank you.
Thank you.
Presentation number 3, Ms. Enriquez, if you're on, you have the floor, ma'am.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and City Council. Hello, everyone. Wonderful things happening here at the Greater Mission Chamber of Commerce. Tomorrow, we have a business development workshop on e-commerce roadmap, and this is module number 1 on strategic selling. Next Wednesday, we're continuing the educational webinar on the HR process. So we have that in place. If you haven't reserved your seat, please go ahead and do so. As far as engagement, next Thursday, July 22nd, we are conducting our GMCC member power mixer. It will be held at the Cimarron Country Club. We're inviting all of our newest members from the last 6 months, as well as our current members and our board of directors. So we'd love to see some of our council there if they can join us. On the 27th, we do have a ribbon cutting. South Texas Health System is expanding. They will be opening up a family medicine here in Mission. And just a reminder, board nominations are due this Friday, July 16th. So if you know of anyone, an active member of the chamber in the community that would like to serve on the board of directors of the Greater Mission Chamber of Commerce, please be sure to submit your nominations to me no later than July 16th. Also, Also, business awards nominations are due this Wednesday. So we are inviting the community to submit their business awards. Just a reminder, we have 3 awards. Number 1 is the Business Leader of the Year. Number 2, Business of the Year. Number 3, Community Impact of the Year. And our ongoing tourism efforts, we are planning a night at the museum scheduled for August the 5th. We're really excited. We get to invite our friends, our partners from other communities to learn and network at the museum here at the Mission Museum. So we're really excited, and that's what we have going on, Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Enriquez. Any questions by the council specifically for the chamber? No question? Rivera?
No.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Enriquez, and I'm going to call for presentation number 4. In your packet, you have the departmental reports presented by Mr. Perez. Mr. Perez is here to answer any of the questions. If not, he'll address it straight to one of the directors if there's specific questions on the report.
Mayor, I move to approve the reports as presented.
We have a motion to approve the reports as presented. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'll call for presentation number 5, citizens participation. Ms. Carrillo, is there anybody that has signed up?
No, Mayor, I didn't have anyone sign up. And I don't see anyone raising their hand on Zoom either.
Thank you, Charlie. Without further ado, I'll go and take that as nobody wants to participate as a citizen as of today. So I'll move over to public hearing and move for the planning and zoning recommendation. I am not calling item number 6. Item number 6 will be no action unless the council chooses differently. But it is in the best interest of all parties involved that we extend it for 2 more weeks. So I don't know if Mr. Luna, you want to make any comments about it or not? If not, so I can call for the public hearing for item number 7.
No, we received a call from the applicant requesting an extension to postpone this item, take no action
Okay.
until they're ready. And
They wanted time to reach out to the residents to see if they could address their concerns.
I think that the council will honor that. Am I correct?
I would like to have everyone, re-notified of the.
Of course.
we'll send you notices. Everything will be, it will be public, we put signs and we'll send notices.
So it's not gonna be for the next meeting.
No.
2 weeks.
No, it's gonna take, it's gonna be for the first meeting in August.
Yes.
Which is why it's a no action, it's no
And,
table.
and we're not conducting the public hearing today because we're gonna
No.
notify people around.
No,
As
we
for-
would send notices out, we publish everything at giving them the proper notice.
Okay, as long as everybody's gonna be notified, I'm okay with postponement.
Okay, then she's confirming that that's gonna happen. Mr. Vela, are you okay, Mr. Vela?
Yes.
Okay. Consensus are that we are going to take no action on item number 6. Those that are in the audience, so you can be aware of it, that we're honoring your request, and we're moving forward. Okay. Item number 7. This is a public hearing. Mr. De Luna, you have the floor.
Item number 7 is a rezoning for Lot 12, Gilberto Gutierrez subdivision. This is from C2 Neighborhood Commercial to R2 Duplex Fourplex. The applicant is Gilberto Gutierrez. If the council is inclined to approve this item, an adoption of an ordinance will be needed. The subject site is located on the east of Prosper Road, about 1,500 feet north of West Mile 2 Road.
The surrounding zones include to the north townhouse residential, to the east C2 and R2, which is neighborhood commercial duplex fourplex, to the west neighborhood commercial, to the south duplex fourplex. Existing land uses in this area, agricultural to the north and east and south, and to the west is Escobar Rios Elementary School. The future land use map shows this area as low density. The land uses reflect the zoning shown above as low density. In viewing the lot's location at Prosper Road and West Mile 2 Road, R2 would be consistent with the rest of the subdivision and perhaps a better neighbor for this particular lot. An R2 zone is a stare down to the current neighborhood commercial that it currently has. P&Z and staff recommended approval. This is a public hearing. This item is now before you.
This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against this rezoning? If you're in the audience, please approach the podium at this time. I do not see anybody approaching the podium at this time. Therefore, I'm going to ask, is there anybody in favor or against this rezoning on electronics? No? Alex? No? Okay, in this case, I will close the public hearing for this item number 7 and ask for guidance from the council.
I'm going to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second, and this I open it for discussion from any of the council members. Go ahead, ma'am.
Rezoning? Yes, only lot 12. The rest of the lots are already apartments. He only has. So 13, 14, and 11 are already. 14 and 13 are currently zone C to neighborhood commercial. And the rest of the other lots are all R2. Lot 11 is R2. Is R2? Is R2.
And 10.
All of the rest, from 2 to 11, they're all currently R2. And from 12, 13, and 14, they're currently zone C to neighborhood commercial. 12 through 14 are currently zone neighborhood commercial, and lots 2 through 11 are currently zone duplex fourplex.
And lot 1?
Lot 1 is a detention pond.
Okay.
Because I'm seeing on the screen, lot 11 is commercial.
No, that map is incorrect. It should be R2. They're all R2. He's just wanting to add an extra lot. Okay. To come to our apartments.
Any other question? I will call for a vote. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0 for item number 7 and be ordinance 5044. Ordinance 5044. And I will ask for Ms. Carrillo to double check to see if I'm correct.
That is correct, Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Carrillo. So I'll call for public hearing, item number 8. Ms. De Luna, you have the floor.
Item number 8 is a conditional use permit for the complimentary offering of alcoholic beverages for on-site consumption of a social and or cultural event, Night at the Museum. This would be at 900 Doherty Avenue. It's lots 4 through 7, block 161, Mission Original Townsite. The applicant is the Greater Mission Chamber of Commerce in care of Brenda Enriquez. If the council is inclined to approve this item, an adoption of an ordinance will be needed. The subject site is located on the northwest corner of Dorothy and Business 83. The applicant will be hosting a tourism asset benefit for the Mission Historical Museum called Night at the Museum on Thursday, August 5th, 2021, and would like to offer alcohol to the guests. A $10 donation will be collected at the door for anyone attending, and all proceeds would be donated to the Mission Historical Museum. Ordinance 3436 permits civic organization to request a CUP for city-owned buildings where complimentary alcoholic drinks will be offered, not sold during a social cultural event. A similar CUP was last approved on March 9, 2020 for a period of 3 years for the Upper Valley Art League. This event is scheduled from 7 p.m. to 7:30. P&Z and staff recommended approval. This item is now before you.
Anybody in favor or against this conditional use permit? This is a public hearing. Anybody in the audience, if you want to approach the podium at this time, you may so. I don't see anybody approaching the podium at this time, so I'm gonna go and ask to the second level of a public hearing, and then do we have anybody under electronics to? I'm closing this public hearing and I'm asking for the council guidance. We have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second, and this I open it for discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Ordinance 5045 is approved by vote. And I'm calling for public hearing number 9. Mr. Luna, you have the floor.
Item number 9 is a conditional use permit to expand the sale and on-site consumption of alcoholic beverages. This is for Brick Fire Pizza at 704 East Griffin Parkway, suites 110 and 130. This is a 1.25 acre tract of land out of lot 24-8 West Addition to Sheridan. It's currently zone C3 and the applicant is Brick Fire Pizza and More in care of Stephen Alanis. If the council is inclined to approve this item, an adoption of an ordinance will be needed. The subject site is located within a commercial plaza between Mayberry Avenue and Augusta along the south side of East Griffin Parkway. The applicant currently shares a 10,200 square foot building with an adult daycare that is comprised of 3 suites. The applicant suites are totaling 8,500. The applicant currently has a CUP for the sale and on-site consumption of alcohol for suite 130 and would like to expand to include 110. The last CUP for this location was approved October 14, 2019 for a period of 2 years. The restaurant has a bar area, dance floor, stage, kitchen, and an office. The hours of operation are Monday to Thursday from 11 to 12, Friday and Saturday from 11 to 2 a.m., and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. They currently have 25 employees. Parking. For parking, it is noted that it is held in common. They have a total of 70 existing parking spaces. Staff is recommending approval subject to a 2-year reevaluation, at which time the applicant would have to renew his TABC and CUP license. They must comply with building, fire, and health codes and the installation of a sound buffer to address the noise concerns that staff has received for this location. This is a public hearing. This item is now before you.
Thank you, ma'am. This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against the conditional use permit? Anybody from the audience, if you want to approach and talk to the council on this conditional use permit, do so right at this time. The podium is open and I'll recognize you. I don't see anybody approaching the podium at this time, so I'm gonna go to level 2 of the electronics. And is there anybody on the public hearings? No, Alex, no? I will close this public hearing for the conditional use permit, and I will ask for the council's guidance.
Move for approval, Mayor.
We have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second,
We have a second, and this I open it for further discussion.
I just have a question.
Go ahead, sir. You have the floor.
So you only want a 1-year renewal?
For this one, yes, to make sure that since we're having concerns regarding the noise, we want to make sure they're in compliance with what we're requiring.
Even though the records indicates approval for 2 years on the,
On the ordinance, I'm sorry for that. No, it's a 2-year reevaluation.
Yeah.
It's a 2-year to be in conjunction with the TABC license. It's every 2 years,
not 1 year.
not 1 year.
Our state says staff recommends approval subject to a 1-year reevaluation. So they had to come back in 1 year.
No, it's
No, it's
2.
2.
It's 2 years. The next one is 1 year.
Item 9 says 2 years.
On
Mine says
mine,
2
it
years
says
too.
2 years. Are you on the item
You
number
you
9?
might be in the, you might be in the next one. I was in the next one too. But yeah. Now this one is 2 years to be in alignment with their TBC license.
I'm always trying to be ahead.
No.
You stand corrected. Mr. Flores. So, any other questions?
No, man.
No. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 9 is approved 5-0, which is ordinance 5046. 5046. And I'm calling for item number 10. You have the floor, Ms. Luna.
Okay, item number 10 is a conditional use permit renewal for a home occupation. This is for an insurance and notary public service at 1711 West Mile 3 Road. This would be Lot 2 Lozano Estates. The property is currently zoned agricultural, and the applicant is Antonio Arellano. The council is inclined to approve this item, and adoption of an ordinance will be needed. The subject site is located approximately 1,000 feet east of Inspiration Road along the south side of Mile 3. The applicant has a large agricultural lot fronting 3 Mile line. The applicant enclosed the garage to use as an office for his home occupation. He would like to renew his conditional use permit. The CUP was last approved on June 22, 2020 for a period of 1 year. The hours of operation are Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. The applicant would be the only one running this home occupation. For parking, the applicant has a driveway that could easily stack up to 4 or 5 vehicles, but this is by appointment only. Staff is recommending approval for 1 year reevaluation in order to continue monitoring the business, and they must continue to comply with the home occupation portion of the zoning code. This is a public hearing. This item is now before you.
This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against this conditional use permit renewal? If there's anybody from the audience, please approach the podium at this time. I do not see anybody approaching the podium at this time. Therefore, I'm going to level 2 of electronics. Do we have anybody in the public hearing? No. Although I will close this public hearing at this time and ask for guidance from the council
Move to approve agenda item number 10.
for 1 year.
1 year.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. In this, I open it for discussion.
Mayor, I have a question for
Go ahead,
Susan.
ma'am. You have the floor.
How many permits like this do we have for, he's gonna sell insurance, I guess?
Yes. This would probably be about 3. We don't have that very many.
And how long have they been in existence out of their home?
We have one that is, has obtained a life of use. For the most part, it's 3. But they're fairly new. They haven't been there for a long time.
Thank you.
This is on 3 Mile line, right?
Yes. And actually, they started due to the pandemic. That's why they started out of their home.
Any other question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 10 for ordinance 5047 is approved 5-0. And I'm calling for item number 11. Mr. Luna, you have the floor.
Item number 11 is a conditional use permit renewal for the sale and on-site consumption of alcoholic beverages for Mariscos El Siete Mares. This is at 2301 East Griffin Parkway, Suite D. The legal is lots 10 through 12, Big Orange subdivision. The property is currently zoned C3 general business, and the applicant is Mariscos El Siete Mares LLC in care of Juan Jose Chapa. If the council is inclined to approve this item, and adoption of an ordinance will be needed. Mariscos El Siete Mares is located within existing commercial plaza located on the northwest corner of Citrus Lane and Griffin Parkway. The last CUP was approved on August 26, 2019, up until June 6, 2021, in conjunction with their TABC license. The applicant would like to renew his conditional use permit. Hours of operation is every day from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. He has 6 employees as his staff. Parking is held in common with the other businesses. They have a total of 80. Staff is recommending approval for a period of 2 years, at which time the applicant will have to renew their TABC license and conditional use permit. This item is now before you.
This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor or against this conditional use permit renewal? If anybody from the audience, please approach the podium at this time. I do not see anybody from the audience approaching the podium. Therefore, I'm going to move it to level 2 electronics. Do we have anybody in electronics for the public hearing? No? The other Alex. So I'm gonna close this public hearing and open it for recommendations from the council.
Move to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second. And this I open it for discussion. All those in favor say aye.
All right.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 11, ordinance 5048 is approved 5-0. And I'm calling for item number 12.
Item number 12 is a discussion and action to amend inspection and planning fees. If the council is inclined to approve this item, an adoption of an ordinance will be needed. Staff has compared inspection and planning fee with other municipalities and have determined that the need to adjust and approve new fees for some services provided to our citizens. During our workshop held with Planning and Zoning and City Council on May 27, 21, these were the fees that were proposed to be changed. The plumbing fee, it would be charged by fixtures instead of how it currently is in square footage. The gas permit would be increased to $35. Swimming pool and solar panel permits would have a set fee of $300. Commercial remodeling permits, we would have the flexibility to charge by square footage or cost of construction, depending on the proposed work that they have. Lab testing fees will be increased to 5%. Inspection fees will be increased to 3%. Subdivision plat process increased. If it's 5 acres or less, it would be $400. If it's 5 acres or more, $500. P&Z and staff recommended approval. This is a public hearing. This item is now before you.
Okay. This is a public hearing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you said planning and zoning approved this
Yes,
and they,
yes, it was taken to planning and zoning before bringing it to council.
it needs to be added to the documents here on number 12. You only have staff and city manager recommends approval, but there's no planning and zoning approval for the sake of the documents.
It was taken to planning and zoning, and now it's
Okay.
coming to city council.
This is a public hearing. Anybody in favor against this action to amend inspections and planning fees and adoption of ordinance 5049? If anybody from the audience, please approach the podium at this time. I do not see anybody approaching the podium at this time. Therefore, I'm going to go to level 2, which is electronics. And I need to know if anybody's in the public hearing. No? Alex? No? I will close this public hearing and I will go to the council for guidance.
I would like to see how much of an impact would this have on our budget? I mean, you said,
I thought we went over that during the workshop. You don't remember?
My understanding, we did have that workshop, and I was under the impression that we're gonna have a follow-up, which was scheduled for Thursday, but that's been rescheduled because of community members are not, so I thought we were gonna have a second opportunity to discuss it in the second joint meeting with P&Z that initially was scheduled for Thursday.
Okay, and my understanding was that they were approved, what we were suggesting, so we can
move on.
take no action if you like.
That would be
And
my
if you want, we
preference.
could bring it up again at a joint
At
workshop.
at the joint workshop that. we're
We can
gonna
certainly do that.
schedule for whenever everybody's available.
Yes, we're looking to reschedule for the 29th of this month.
The 29th.
Let me ask consensus from the council. Do you want to take action right now so I can call for a vote or do you want to? I know Ms. Garza's
Yeah,
position is.
I would like
well,
to.
Ms. Garza's position is to have another workshop, but I'm with you, Susie. I thought that we went through and jointly said that we were moving forward with it.
Actually, the
But,
three
I'll-
next
I'll-
items are, that's what my understanding is, that were approved. That's why we're seeing the
Yeah.
next few items. But if we're not, we can take no action on them and revisit them again.
Well, we are gonna
No
have
problem.
another, we scheduled a second meeting that's being rescheduled. And so I really thought that we were just gonna revisit the items
So,
that we discussed. I think we already-
Part of the,
Let me get the council's, because if the council doesn't want to take any action, then we'll just hold it for the workshop. You thought, so you don't mind.
Okay.
But it's, what, Do you want to vote on it right now, or do you want to workshop, Mr. Vic?
We can go do the workshop.
Ms. Ortega?
I'm fine either way. I just kind of thought that the workshop was only for specific items. So on those specific items, was this one of them?
No,
We had already discussed this one.
this one was
So-
already discussed, the
Uh-huh.
short-term rental.
The only ones that were
contingency.
discussed, there was like another 10 that we were pending to
Yes.
discuss.
The noise ordinance was one of them, and then there was a list of other items, but we have no problem taking no action on them, and if you want to continue,
Yes.
I think because it was a lengthy meeting and we were just everywhere. I think that, but we're gonna go back to discuss something that we had already discussed there.
Well, we can.
So what's your take? You wanna vote on it today, and we have 1 and 1 so far.
Has anything changed from what we discussed in the workshop,
no,
from this?
not from this, not from the ordinances that are being presented, nothing has changed.
Only that I have received some calls in reference to these permit increases.
Okay,
So I would like to bring that up at the workshop.
Ms. Ortega, you
and
have the
then I
floor.
have no problem,
Ms.
that's,
Ms. Ortega has the floor.
Okay, Randy, and then at that workshop, could you have what Mr. Plata is asking for? How is that going to impact the budget?
Yes, we can do a projection, yes.
So what's your take?
I'm okay to add this, so we'll have like 11.
Are you also adding items 13, 14, and 15? Because they were also workshopped as well.
which is.
Well, let me take care of item 12 first, Mr. Martinez, and Mr. Plata, what's your take? You
I
want to vote on?
would like to discuss it a little bit.
Okay, so now we have 3 in consensus. We'll take no action on item number 12 and bring up item number 13 as a public hearing since we already advertised it. Mr. Luna, you have the floor. And before we go into the public hearings, I want to recognize Mr. Martinez with his comments. Mr. Martinez, go ahead.
Yes, sir. As far as number 12, taking no action, that's been written down, but just for informational purposes, items 13, 14, and 15 were also workshopped at that same time. We can take those individually.
12, 13, and 15?
13, the following 3, the remaining 3 also, the,
12, 13, and 14.
yes.
12, 13, and 14.
And I believe 15 as well, but I know 12, 13, and 14 for sure.
Well, let me ask the expert. Item 13, 14, and 15, were they in the previous workshop?
Yes.
Yes. So
Yeah,
let's
they're
go ahead
in
and
the-
do that. Let's take no action and take it back to the workshop and study it some more. And like that, if the public is hearing, we are canceling the public hearings.
Okay,
You
is
know,
there
so you,
any,
and I want to make sure that when we do have a public hearing, that re-notices are sent out.
Mayor, I just want to make it clear that I do recall that workshop and we did give clear direction that we wanted approval to the city council meeting. So Susie did exactly what we directed them to do that day, which was all the items that we discussed at the workshop. And then she took it to planning and zoning for approval on a separate meeting. And that's why we're here today.
Yes.
Correct.
So then what was the purpose for the second workshop?
to
It's additional ordinance.
to
the 10
continue, to
that we lacked.
continue with the noise ordinance and the remaining items that we had,
That we did not discuss at all?
that we did not discuss at all. But if the council wants to take no action, that's no problem. The only thing is, if there's a specific information that you would like on any of these table items, if you can let me know that way, I can have it
I think
ready.
that's fair.
Okay. Are we okay? Can I get consensus from the council to move forward? Okay, I'll call for a consent agenda item at this time. Mr. Luna, thank you for your, and you already have the direction on the next workshop, add them there and we'll revisit them. All consent agenda items are considered routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member requests an item be removed and considered separately. The city council may take various actions, including but not limited to rescheduling any item in its entirety for a future date or time. The city council may elect to go into executive session on any item, whether or not such item is posted as an executive session item at any time during the meeting when authorized by the provision of the Opens Meeting Act. Consent agenda item 16, 17, 18 with ordinance 5049, am I correct? Item number 19, item number 20 with ordinance 5050, and item number 21. What is the wishes of the council?
This would like Mr. Avila to tell us a little bit more about 17, and I would like to move for approval item 16, 18, 19, 20, and 21.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. The item number 17 is pulled. And do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second. And this is a final discussion to pull any other items other than item number 17. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion there carries. Item consent agenda item 16, 18 with ordinance 4059, correction, 4049. Item number 19, item number 20 with ordinance 5050, and item number 21 are approved 5-0. And I'm calling for item number 17. Mr. Avila, you have the floor, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. I come before you seeking approval for pre-negotiated fleet repair, hourly labor rates and part markups, requesting approval of pre-negotiated agreements with Bird Ogden Mission, Chevrolet, Telus, which is John Deere Equipment Solutions, Baker Machining, Stewart and Stevenson's, Anderson Equipment Company, Holt and Holtcat. Repairs will be done as needed basis and determined solely by the city, which of course staff and city manager recommend. Basically, these are some of the companies that we've been using just as needed basis whenever an equipment goes down, that we basically bought it from there or it's originally from there. So we'll use that company. So we just wanted to have a pre-negotiated rate. That way the rates don't change every time we go different times. We wanted to make sure and keep them at one labor rate, whichever it may be. And I'm still going to bringing in other companies that we want to work with. We don't want to just work with one specific company. We want to give everybody an opportunity to work with the different special equipment and different vehicles that we have that pertain to where we bought them from, basically. We've been doing real good with that. We've had other I think in the beginning of the year, we did present something like this and we put a list of other companies and vendors. And actually it's been working well for us. We've been on budget with all our departments, with our equipment and maintenance repairs by doing this. So we want to try to continue and see how it works. In the last 6 months, we stayed under budget with all our repairs and with all of the departments by doing this, by going slowly, to where we bought the actual equipment itself. So, but we want to hold them to just the labor weight. That way we don't go and every time it's something different. So we've told them, send us a service agreement, and then we'll stick to that. And it's a one-time labor fee cost and also on the parts. So they won't be all over the place every time we go. So we want to hold them to that, keep them firm on what they're saying, and have some sort of agreement with them in place, and not just be showing up at any time.
Thank you, Mr. Arja. I'd like the legal counsel to answer this question.
Yes, sir.
Can we, from this agenda item, approve him to go ahead and solicit bids for all members and not just the selected members that are listed here?
You can.
We can.
It's part of the
I would like to recommend
material of
to the
the item.
council, since he's going to bring back, just to do it one time,
Mhm.
solicit the bids. So anybody that's interested from whatever company, they can submit and instead of just having this selected few and then get another selected few, like that, he'll have the
And we
pool.
send out to different various people. The
You'll-
only thing is that we've already been waiting, and these are the only ones that so far have replied. We've been on them, calling them and emailing them. So, hopefully the next meeting we'll get another batch and I was going to take, bring it in as they're replying. It's just sometimes, also they don't reply and it's like,
No, but
no.
we have Mr. Belmontes. Mr. Belmontes, I'm recommending that we go ahead and go for proposals so we can open it up for everybody and not just the selected few. Same scope of work, same criteria that you're using for this individual, but just let everybody else so we can have that pool and he don't have to come back to the council every time. Like that. Yeah.
Would that delay, some of the service that we need?
I mean,
It's really up to
Because-
purchasing.
Because you're
Yeah.
going to.
He
this-
would tell you whether it would approve it or not.
From a technical perspective, Mayor, it would be very chaotic to develop one specific scope. That's the reason why we engage different shops that specialize in different trades, hydraulics, engines, transmissions. And since we have a variety of vehicles that are very complex, from your small vehicles to heavy equipment vehicles, it would be a challenge to develop a scope of service targeted for each individual piece of equipment or vehicle that we have. That is the reason why we opted to take this approach. We have a pre-negotiated labor rate, that cost that we would hold them firm to. The only thing that would vary would be the markup on the components and parts, but everything is negotiable when it comes to that. But whenever we seek their services, we hold them to the pre-negotiated rate that they've already agreed upon for the city of Mission. These are rates that have been agreed upon and negotiated to favor the city of Mission. That's the reason why we continue to add shops to allow us the leverage that we get from engaging these shops. When you have a variety of different shops or vendors, you get to pick and choose what's in the best interest of the city, applying cost savings, and of course, protecting the integrity of the procurement process and the negotiated contractual obligations for the city and for the shops.
So how do I answer the question? How come I'm not on the list from
You're
from a
welcome.
vendor?
You're welcome to approach us if you have a service that you can provide to the fleet maintenance department. You would provide your scope of what you specialize in, and then our director and our staff would make that assessment in speaking with our technical experts, which are mechanics. Our mechanics are the ones that troubleshoot our issues and problems with our fleet, and they make the determination with the director as to what shops to seek services from. And you're welcome to submit your scope of service to the director, and the director would review the scope, and he would make the determination as to how to approach the negotiations of the pre-negotiated rates that we have already in place. He would use that as a benchmark to determine fair and reasonable rates or costs.
But if they're not listed here, you won't be able to hire them.
Well, that's why, Mayor, I would invite them to come and approach us and offer the services that they have to offer.
Mayor, can I please ask a question to Mr. Belmontes?
Wait, let me finish mine and then I'll open it. And so that's why I wanted to see if it would be more feasible to bid it out and get everybody involved and do it one time. Then doing a selected group, which I'm gonna get the call, why am I not there? And then I'm gonna refer them to you and then you understand? You know how the process works.
We can seek proposals or bids, but like I said, it's gonna be very complex and very technical. Because we're gonna have to write detailed scope as to the specialized different trades that we have, because we don't want to send our units to one single shop and then allow them to outsource it and then come back and charge us a markup cost on top of their costs.
Yeah.
We want to reserve the right to seek services as we see fit and on an as-needed basis.
Like, let me get Mr. Ortega first, since Mr. Ortega, you have the floor, and then
Yes, I don't know, Mr. Avila or Mr. Belmontes, if you could please answer this question. So currently, right now, you're asking for pre-negotiated agreements with Bird Ogden, TELUS, Regio Machining, Stewart and Stevenson, Anderson Equipment, and Holt Cat. So you've been using these companies already with or without council approval?
We've been seeking for their support and guidance
So
in
we
terms of repairs and services or parts or components that we use on a daily basis to repair in-house equipment or vehicles. When it comes to outsourcing, if it's within a certain dollar threshold, we go directly to them as per their purchasing manual. We increase that dollar threshold to $25,000. But before we send anything out, we make sure that we assess it and we make determination with what's fair and reasonable cost associated with the repairs. Some of the equipment is already up in age, so we're having a lot of issues with those pieces of equipment. And we've opted to make a determination whether it's feasible for us to get it repaired or just auction it off or get rid of it. So that's how we're making the determination. Now, these shops, they've already agreed on the specific labor hour rate, and that's what's being presented to you for approval, because we foresee that there's a cost that's gonna be higher. And that's the reason why I asked my director to bring it before you to seek approval. Because
But have we already conducted business with parts that have already been
I would-
meeting?
I would have to go back and look at their invoices to see, but like I said, it's already projected that it's gonna go above that dollar threshold, so that's the reason why we're being proactive and presenting these shops to you before we engage in moving forward.
And who decides where that work goes to if something is needed? Because if these have already been utilized without council approval, once it meets above the value of whatever it is, it needs to come to us for approval. Is that what I'm understanding?
The
with what you're saying?
director gets with their mechanics after their assessment, and we look at the assessment and we look at the cost and we make the determination whether it's cost effective for us to get it repaired or not.
I mean, let him start. Go ahead. Yeah, I have to. Yes, we have a
Okay.
question.
No,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sure I asked it already. I just want to be, I just want a clarification. These aren't the only shops that you're using.
No,
This
ma'am.
is just an additional to the list that you
Yeah.
already have.
That is correct. We're spreading the wealth around and we're making sure that everyone gets equal and fair opportunity to conduct business with the city of Mission Fleet Department.
So if their name is not on this list, their name could be on the current list.
Yes, ma'am. That is correct. We have a list and we're adding shops as we go, as the needs come up. And we know that we can get better pricing. I empower my director to go out there and get the most competitive pricing available. Of course, always guaranteeing the quality of the work.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure.
I just
Go ahead.
want to thank you. I think y'all done the due diligence. I just wanted for the public to know what we're doing. I also don't want to hold out the, make the process more
Yeah.
time consuming, because I want to make sure that if you need to say something to be repaired, that it be done. And Mayor, and if there's no other questions from Councilman Vela, I would like
No
to
question.
make a motion to approve.
So move.
I think there's already a motion.
No, I don't think,
No, wait.
no. Yeah, we took it out, but we started discussing
Remove for consent.
Before the motion?
before the motion. So, we have a motion on the floor recognized by the chair. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second, and this is any final discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and item number 17 is approved
Thank
as
you.
presented and as indicated here.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, sir. Approval and authorization, item number 22, Ms. De Luna, you have the floor, ma'am. And I know that there's a special request for an extension of time
Yes,
due
they
to
request,
the inclement weather, that I'm very familiar with the process.
yes,
so
they request
what-
that we take no action on item 22.
So item number 22, officially, we're not going to take any action, and we're going to give them the extended time that they need to comply with the final plat approval. So I would call for item number 23. Ms. Carrillo, you have the floor, ma'am.
Mayor Council, item number 23 is authorization to revert Catholic Cemetery baby section, lots 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, 70, 69, 68, and 67, back to 20 by 20 lots. Back in 2013, we replatted these lots at the Catholic Cemetery to be used for baby section, which was a total of 260 spaces. In the 8 years, we've only sold 21, spaces out of this baby section. I think Charlie's trying to pull up the map where I'm referring to right now. Currently, we only have 54 adult spaces left to sell at the Catholic Cemetery. So by reverting these spaces back to, adult spaces, this will add an additional 75 spaces. So we'll have 125 to sell. And we are still leaving, if you notice, number 71 as a baby section, which will give us 25 more. So that would still give us 31 more baby section spaces to sell if necessary. So that's why we're asking for approval to revert this section back to 20 by 20 lots so that we can increase 75 more spaces.
Mayor, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Ms. Anna, so you mean 58 will still remain as baby?
Yes, on 58, that's where the 21 have been sold on 58.
Oh, so they're already sold.
21 out of the 25 are already sold. In other words, well,
We
there's a
have 37
baby,
left.
there's a baby that's already been buried there. But in 8 years, we've only sold 21. We've only buried 21, so.
I just want to make sure that if somebody is in need of that, there's still going to be some available.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I assure you, yes, ma'am, there is. And what we can do is, we can start selling up from the top from 54 down, and that way, would still be able to switch back if necessary, another one of those bottom lots, for a baby section.
And then my last question, do we still get calls from people inquiring, wanting some lots and you have to turn them away? Like have they been calling the city or calling you?
No. The only reason if they do decide that they don't want it, either they're not happy with the sections that we have now. Some people like, close to a tree and things like that. And these 54 that we have are all kind of clustered together already. So they either don't like the location and we really don't have anywhere else that we can offer them.
Okay.
Looking for guidance from the council.
Mayor, I move for approval.
We have a motion on the floor to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, final discussion by any of the council members. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 23 is approved 5-0, and I'm calling for item number
Thank you, ma'am.
24. And Mr. Avila, you have the floor, sir.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. I come before you seeking authorization to submit payment to Holt Cat, the original equipment manufacturer for 2008 motor grader for repairs for the streets department. This unit was taken in for repairs to Holt Cat, who found out that it had failed starting motor and excessive oil leaks. The original estimate provided was $14,043.84. However, while it was there, additional damage was discovered, and the total of the cost was $26,576.97. It's a 2008 motor grader series 128, which staff and city manager recommend for approval for the repairs of machinery.
Mayor, I have a question for Mr. Avila.
Go ahead.
With vehicles such as this, I know that we outsource and sometimes your staff sees this, but do we have an itemized on how many times this vehicle went out for oil change, repair? Because I think it's a little much for them to find other things. And I mean, don't we have daily upkeep?
No, we do. What happened with this motor grader itself is when we did try, of course, in-house. Number one, everything we try to do it in-house before we take it out. Once it seems a little bit more complicated and it's going to take, some time and some repairs, the leaks were in the engine itself. So that's what's already a red flag, saying that's going to be a job that's going to take a while. So we decided to take it to where we bought it. Number one, the OEM distributors. Once it was taken there, they pulled out. We did tell them to go ahead and do an assessment for us and give us an estimate, which we did get one originally. Once it was there and they pulled out the engine, they saw in the bottom of all the crevices, the wiring. 2008, it's a motor grader, been used through canals, streets, irrigation ditches, and they use that one. It's the only one we have. We just leased the one a couple of months ago since 2008. So it's the only one that we've ever used. So it was pretty damaged. And it's something, a big piece of machinery that's very important for the streets department, irrigation,
What year is the unit?
2008.
I just want to make sure that all of our,
No, definitely.
Maintenance
We do have a maintenance list and on all our vehicles and all equipment of everything that we've done to them, what's going on with them, when they go in. But this one, like I said, it was something that we knew was going to be a big repair. We did ask them to give us an estimate at the time when they did do a pre estimate, they call us out there. We went out there, me and Mr. Benmares, I also took him out there himself so he could see for himself the extent of damage that was underneath the carriage of the engine when the engine was pulled out. So we said, might as well, if the engine's out already, let's do it. Let's repair it and get this piece of machinery back for another couple of years to continue working. So now we have two motor graders, the one we just leased, which is a smaller one, and then this bigger one that we got that we're gonna get back into the fleet and get it back working.
Mayor, I'm more to approve the work has been done. I mean, this.
Yeah.
But my question is, just my ignorance, what will be the price of a new equipment for this?
Something like this, about anywhere from 250 to 300,000,
And this is from 2008.
2008. Yes, sir.
How many do we have? In this?
This is one. And we just leased the smaller one.
We
But
just
this
purchased
version
them.
is one of them.
We just purchased the new one under the lease program. And so that replaces this one. It's at a smaller machinery. However, it's the newest technology, is a 2021 year model. So we do have one in stock already.
And with the repairs we did to this one, it's gonna be in the fleet for a good while, sir. Yes, sir.
Mayor, I have a question for Randy.
Well, let me, Mr. Plata, put a form of motion.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm gonna have to ask for a second.
Second.
We have a second, and this I open it for discussion. Ms. Ortega, you have the floor, ma'am.
Randy, when it comes to not just this vehicle, but any of our vehicles throughout our fleet, who is responsible for making sure that they get, I guess, every 3 months oil change or however long it is? Would
Yes.
it be Mr. Avila? Would it be the directors? Would it be the person driving the vehicle themselves? Like have a checkup list, or how do we
Yeah,
do that?
So it is coordinated through our fleet department. They do have a monthly maintenance schedule
Okay.
that they send out on a monthly basis of the vehicles that are ready and available or that need maintenance, their monthly maintenance. So it is coordinated through them. They do have a log of each vehicle from our fleet and when it's due for their maintenance. So they do coordinate that with the departments.
Once it comes in, we have a program, manager post program that we'll put in. We'll do the data entry of what day it comes out, and automatically that computer will tell us what due date that it should be back again. And then we also do the original style as you go to any loop shop, and we'll put the sticker also in the vehicle, just for the operator. So, mais o menos, he'll know when he needs to come back. But like Mr. Pettis said, we do have a monthly PM list that goes out every single month. And that computer, that program generates it for us and lets us know what's due.
Okay. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Does this type of equipment have an hour count? It counts
Yes,
hours, not miles.
yes,
Is it still working
yes,
on this vehicle?
yes, ma'am.
How many hours?
On the hours on that, I'll tell you right now, it's 7,091 right now that it had when it went into the shop.
But that's,
It's on the meter reading.
but it's because it's engaged in a project, not because it's driving around.
All right, yes, sir.
Yes, okay.
Mhm.
Any other questions?
Just curious.
Go ahead, ma'am.
No, I was just curious.
Yeah, you got. Good enough. Okay, now that we have a motion and a second, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 24 is approved by vote. And I'm calling for item number 25. Ms. Vela, you have the floor, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Mayor and City Council. Item number 25 is the approval of the May 2021 financial statements. Total revenues for the month were $41,388,296, and total expenditures were $6,689,723. Total ending adjusted fund balance is $41,405,815. Staff and city manager recommend approval.
More to approve.
We have a motion on the floor to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a second, and this I open it for discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 25 is approved 4-0. And calling for item number 26. Ms. Vela, you have the floor.
Item number 26 is the approval of the May 2021 tax collection report. Total 2020 tax levy was $24,296,802.02, and the amount of collections as of May 31st, 2021 is $23,217,737.24, which represents 95.56% of the 2020 tax levy. Total delinquent tax levy was $2,441,160.30, and the amount of collections as of May 31st is $482,272.78, which represents 19.76% of total delinquent tax levies. Staff and city manager recommend approval.
Council,
Move for approval.
we have a motion on the floor. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second, and this I open it for discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 26 is approved 5-0, and I'm calling for item number 27. Ms. Bella, you have the floor.
Item number 27 is the approval of two budget amendments, one in the general fund and a utility fund. In the general fund, we have $48,953 in revenues and expenditures to allocate funding for settlements from TML insurance claims on machinery and equipment, specifically a sweeper in streets and a tractor in parks. And the second, we have in utility fund, $80,915 in revenues and expenditures and $40,935 reclassification to allocate funding for settlements from TML insurance claims on equipment replacement for a backhoe. Staff and city manager recommend approval.
Move to approve.
We have a motion on the floor to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second, and this is open for discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 27 is approved 5-0, and I'm calling for item number 28. Ms. Longoria, you have the floor, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Mayor and council members. Item 28 is approval of final annual action plan 2021-22 and authorize city manager to execute subrecipient agreements receiving fiscal year 21 CDBG allocations. The corrected 2021 CDBG allocation for this year is $1,022,201. The activities recommended by the Citizens Advisory Committee are Amigos del Valle, $24,500, LRGV DC Area Agency on Aging, $6,000, Easter Seals RGV, $4,000, Camp University, $4,300, Hope Medical Services, $4,000, Comfort House, $4,500, Casa Vidal County, $3,000, Children's Advocacy Center, $10,000, Silver Ribbon, $3,000, Housing Assistance Program, $700,844, Housing Administration, $93,395, Program Administration, $164,662. Public hearings were held to solicit input on the annual action plan. An extended 30-day comment period ended on June 28th. No public comments were received. Staff and city manager recommend approval.
Mayor, move for approval.
We have a motion on the floor. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second, and this I open it for discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 28 is approved 5-0, and I'm calling for item number 29. Mr. Belmontes, you have the floor, sir.
Item number 29, Mayor, City Council authorization to approve pool of engineers and engage the following qualified firms for professional engineering services for the projects below. Staff received 27 proposals from professional engineering firms. Proposals were referred to an evaluation committee to evaluate proposals based on the evaluation criteria and scope adopted by the city. All firms were found qualified to perform professional engineering services. Evaluation committee and city engineer recommend to engage the following engineering firms listed below for the following projects. Tetsi Infrastructure Group, Inc. for Project Stewart A, ML06K, LNG Consulting Engineers, Inc. for Project Gabriel ML05B, Half Associates, Inc., Project Glasscock ML06N, B2Z Engineering, Project Esperanza ML02, Freeze and Nichols, Inc., Project Leandro ML05A, Cobb Fenley and Associates, Inc., Project Elm MI13B, and Garver LLC, Project Tulip ML06N. Firms will be engaged moving forward on a per project basis as presented above. Firms will be engaged for fair and reasonable professional rates based on preliminary project scope and design. Staff's recommendation is approval.
Mayor, I'm sorry, I have a question for Mr. Belmontes.
Go ahead.
On what's on the agenda here in our packet, it doesn't reflect what the agenda item is unless I'm seeing wrong. The firms that you all put here are the ones that we did on the other line item. From when we
Elaborate
decided.
some more, ma'am.
Okay, do you remember when we were gonna do the pool of engineers? And they did an evaluation on those engineering firms? That's what I see on my packet.
That is the pool.
That's what it is, ma'am.
But some of these are not on here.
Yes, they are.
All of them, even the ones from,
All 27 firms that submitted proposals are presented as part of your package. All 27 firms were evaluated by the evaluation committee and the city engineer.
okay, so I guess let me restate my question.
Yeah,
So
rephrase it.
where do you have how this were approved and like the list of projects and how much it's gonna be? Like, I don't have a breakdown of how Tensi got chosen for that, how LNG got chosen, and how much is the lease price. Remember, Mr. Terrazas, that you gave us a breakdown of the streets and how much it was gonna be?
Hold on.
Okay. Is there a possibility to go into executive session on this item?
If there is a legal question, I don't know what the legal
Well,
question would
my
be.
legal question is, can we approve two categories? If this, and I know we've had the
Yes,
discussion.
you can. You can have two motions in one item.
So that
Yes.
would, but I would like to further discuss that if.
She needs legal advice.
As long as we don't go in, as long as we don't go into choosing firms in there.
Well, before I go over there, can you all give me a copy of how we had it in the workshop? Where it was all the streets and then you had a line item of how much it was gonna be. And then the committee that chose who was gonna get each project for this,
I would recommend,
who was a part of that? Is it the same evaluators as here? They were the same ones that got to choose it.
Mayor.
And was
can
there a
we-
ranking
can we do
system
a
for that?
special-
Hold on.
Special meeting for this?
Yeah,
Actually, I would prefer a special meeting. Yeah, that's a good one.
you,
We can do a special workshop for this.
Just on this?
Yes.
You wanna-
yes,
you wanna-
Because I'm still not clear with, you all gave us at the last meeting, a list of all of the different engineering firms, right? And you all rated them. Okay, and then we talked about all of the streets that needed improvement,
Yeah.
from the ones that needed right now, like yesterday, to
okay,
the top 7.
let me, I think it's consensus of, that we, Mr. Perez, give us a
Friday, next
direction as of right now, what's the time?
Yes, sir.
When we can officially post for the next meeting, for a
the-
special meeting.
Yes, so special meeting could be called on Thursday at this time.
Okay,
So 6 o'clock would be the earliest.
let me direct,
I'll have to
let
go
me
step
direct the city secretary to make sure that you post, and that you post 2 different agenda items. Put the approval of the pool first, and then the second agenda item, engage in following qualified firms. And in parentheses, if we need to go to legal counsel for legal advice, that the executive session be available for that.
Yes.
For the council.
Might I add, not to already have the engineering firms designated to each project, because I think that's what we want to discuss at the.
Okay, so the agenda item to be read differently?
Yes.
To omit the.
Yeah, it could just be the selection of firms for these projects.
Okay, I guess you can take care of the agenda item for us to make sure that there are 2 distinct, different ones, that we approve the pools first, and then we approve the project second,
Yes,
you
absolutely.
know, is that okay? Mr. Bluff?
And we'll put the language for executive session.
Is that the sooner that we can do it?
That's the sooner that we can do it
Yes, sir.
legally.
That's the,
Special-
that would be
Sooner
the
we
earliest,
start talking.
72 hours.
Yes, that's the sooner we can.
Well, to me, this is an urgency. I mean,
And if we
so-
have any questions, or can there a representative from every one of these be available?
they are right now available,
They
ma'am.
are?
They're on Zoom and some are here
I
present.
see one.
We'll call them back. We'll send,
We'll call them back, make sure.
we'll send
that
them
they
notice for
Yeah,
Thursday.
I would like for them to be at that workshop.
I think the consensus of the council is that we're not gonna take any action right now, and that we're gonna call for the special meeting. And we're gonna address it as soon as possible, because the sense of urgency is there. But we wanna make sure that when we select the engineering firm, that they're gonna solve the problem. You know,
Yes.
that they're gonna solve the problems, you know, because,
Mayor.
Yes.
I just had a thought. Can we approve the 27 companies or engineers? right
You can
now?
move to approve the pool.
Just the pool, and then on Thursday,
Yes.
just
The
discuss
select-
the assignment of.
We can do the pool now, then have just one
let's
item
get
selecting the.
consensus. Are you okay, Ms. Ortega, Mr. Vela, with approving the pool only?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
It'll be moved
Okay,
to.
let me, I'll entertain a motion. Go ahead.
I move to approve the 27 engineering firms that were the qualified firms for the professional engineering services.
And do I have a second?
Second.
I have a question. I know, I think I already know the answer, but if other engineers want to come to the pool, what do they have to do?
We would need to have
We would have to
an,
resolicit for proposals, Mayor. We would have to resolicit for proposals to add firms to the pool.
Okay.
Mayor, but I think staff has done their due diligence with that because we have 27.
Yes.
That's correct.
I
ma'am.
think that's a lot.
We have gone out for proposals and we received up to 27
It would
proposals
delay.
from different 27 firms.
yeah, you don't
and
want the pool to be that big.
Here's the secondary question is, if they are on the list of the previous pool that we already have approved and they're still valid, can you add them to the 27 pool to be
So
28, 29, 30?
engineering firms, sir, are classified under professional services and they can be engaged at the time that the mayor and the council wishes.
Yes, but the question that I have is that we had already pre-approved engineering pool. Am I correct?
Not
No.
necessarily
Through
a
this
civil,
procurement, no, it
No,
hasn't
no,
been
not
done.
for this.
Just
procurement, generally
architecture.
speaking,
No, we
For the
haven't.
city,
No, we
No.
haven't.
not the
Not-
way we have the architect.
no, sir.
Okay.
Not a pool.
Then I take my question back.
I would not want to add any more. I would just go with the 27. We had 7 projects. I think that's enough to get this drainage problem taken care of as soon as possible.
I think it's exciting news that 27 firms are wanting to do business with the city of Mission. So I think that's
enough,
nice.
I think.
Yes, and the evaluation committee of experts in-house took the time to evaluate all 27 proposals. And I do highly recommend to take into consideration our city engineers' input and feedback based on their expertise.
I think it'd be good for them to be at
Yes,
the committee.
okay.
So that's a motion.
Yes, and then I'm gonna call for a vote for the pool only. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. So my direction to Ms. Carrillo and Mr. Perez is that you're gonna have one agenda item for the day. And have everybody on stem.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. We don't have any unfinished business, so I'll go with routine matters. Mr. City Manager, you have the comments, you have the floor, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I do want to announce to the public our community roundup that is taking place this Saturday, July 17, 2021. This is part of the beautification efforts that we are doing for our city, and we are looking to collect bulky items and tire collection. We are looking for items such as we're able to accept furniture, mattresses, barbecue grills, water heaters, fencing, small pieces of carpeting, TVs, wooden pallets, of course, tires. For all we need is proof of residency, and it'll be located at 1400 South Conway, just south of the expressway. We will have banners and so forth for the public to go and drop off their bulky items. Also, we do have movies on the lawn on this Thursday. It will be at Astroland Park. We are inviting the public. This is a free event. We are partnering with the Crime Stoppers on this event. Thursday, July 15th. The movie starts right at dusk. So we are designated different locations this week. Weather permitted, will be at Astroland Park. Also, I do want to introduce to the mayor and the council our new Veteran State Cemetery Director. He's here with us, Angel Ramos. He is a U.S. Army retired, 21 years of honorable service. Mr. Ramos, if you can come and address the council. He will be overseeing the Veteran State Cemetery. As you all know, that Veteran State Cemetery is part of the city, and Mr. Ramos is newly on board. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I use honor to be in this position to represent the GID State Veteran Cemetery, and we do everything I can to support the family and since I'm veteran myself, so.
Well, welcome aboard.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. When was your
Yes.
first day?
Today's my 5th day, so
Good.
still like it the first day.
Well, welcome to the City of Mission family. Thank
Thank you very
you.
much.
Yes,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr.
thank
Ramos.
you. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
That's it, Mr.
Yes.
President? Okay, Mayor's comment, I want to report that we came back safely from Mazatlan. Mr. Plata and myself were the council and mayor that officially represented the signing of the sister city for Mazatlan, Sinaloa. The only thing I'm going to say is that we're waiting for the official documents to come in so we can be able to release the benefits of the trip that has a vision of unbelievable connections that we made on that trip. That's going to bring not only to the valley, not only to Mission, but it's going to bring to the valley a different perspective to the valley. They are in the process. They are requesting to use our international airport in McAllen, our port of Brownsville also, and our Ansel Lewis bridge once we get our 18-wheelers promoted, and obviously they have a future connection with they want to pass their connection of the rail that's going to Canada. They want to pass it through Mission. As far as move it from they officially told us that they want to move it from Laredo to Mission, since Mission has a straight shot through San Antonio, Dallas, and Chicago, which is 3 cities that they're willing to they're making connections with themselves. So further details, and we're going to get a video out. We have the media gathering the data. That is, as soon as we get the official documents from Mazatlan, it is planned that they may come to visit us. Obviously, with the bridge being closed, we don't know if it's going to happen or not. But the 3rd week in September or the 4th week in September, I think we optioned those two dates. Am I correct, Mr. Perez? Yes, we did. So we're waiting for their commitment as well as the commitment from the CBP to allow them to cross over as far as that is concerned. Without further ado, you'll be hearing from more from that trip in a more a formal report to let the citizens know that the expenditure of our trip over there was well worth it, with the future benefits that are coming in, like again, not only to Mission, but the regional area and the United States of America also, as far as that is concerned. So, and I do also want to note, and I need to direct it to the city manager. I noticed that we don't have the COVID-19 agenda item here, and you have a chance to let you know, because you know how busy that you were back and forth and this agenda item. So just because the item is not on the agenda, we want to make sure that we don't rest on COVID-19. We're still having death in our county. I don't know when was the last day that we lost somebody from Mission, but I would like for you, Mr. Perez, to get somebody to research that. And the equipment that we bought by now, some of it may not be functioning correctly, especially like if you go into check your temperature and your temperature is not, the machine's not working. It doesn't, I want to make sure that quality control is continued, and that we go on prevention as far as that is concerned. We received word that the variant Delta is getting closer and closer to our area, and keep in mind that variant Delta is not the same thing as COVID-19. Okay, just very simple symptoms that you will probably not even notice. If you get the variant Delta, you have no fever and you have no cough, and the virus does not connect to your throat. It goes straight to your lungs. So that is why it's more dangerous than the COVID-19. It's harder to detect. It's harder to not recognize that it is around. Therefore, carry your face mask with you. They recommend double face mask for the variant Delta, so which means that you need to have a thicker face mask. But we need to start beginning to identify an individual for public health, to deal with public health, because it's not going away, and it's not, and we need to ensure that our city is safe, and that all the strategies, all the money that Mr. Belmontes, I know Mr. Belmontes, when on COVID-19, we had to quoting and bidding and acquiring equipment and stuff that is maintained and kept, and that is used to prevent the further spread of COVID-19 and prevent from the variant Delta to come into Mission, to protect not only the citizens, but our employees also. Without further ado, I'm going to start with the city council. Mayor Pro Tem, you have the floor.
No comments, Mayor. Thank you.
Mr. Plata, you have the floor.
No comments, Mayor.
Ms. Garza, you have the floor. Mr. Vela, you have the floor.
No comment.
I will entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
We have a motion and a second under pursuant to VTCA Government Code Section 551.001. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0 for item number 30. And we will go into executive session, so we'll let you know when we come up. We have quorum already. I would like to entertain a motion to reconvene. We have a motion to reconvene. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. It's 2-4-4-0. Ms. Garza, you were voting in favor of reconvening. So it's 5-0 for the record. And I'm going to call for executive session item number 29. And I'm going to ask Mr. Martinez, our city attorney,
Yes,
to
sir.
preface what was discussed.
This requires a motion to adopt organizational chart with city manager's recommendations amongst other directives that were discussed in the executive session.
Also move.
We have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion to adjourn. Do I hear a second? We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We are adjourned.